Good afternoon, evening, morning, depending on where you are and when you're listening. Welcome to An Appropriate Amount of Soup, a podcast where we talk about books we're reading, books we're writing, books other people are writing, and a whole bunch of other rambling about our lives. My name is Dom, and my co-host is Shannon.
Hello, I'm Shannon.
How are you today, Shannon?
Oh, I'm very well. I couldn't possibly be more well. How are you, Dom? Are you...
I'm quite well, but I probably could be more well.
I could too. I was just being facetious.
It sounded to me like you said facetious.
Yeah, that's when Poseidon is being facetious. It's a sea-based facetiousness. Don't question it, just roll with it.
I love it. I love a nice bit of marine facetious.
Facetious?
Yeah, that's the act of being facetious.
Okay, yeah, let's go with that.
Just don't question me, just go with it. That's how we do this podcast.
Sounds perfect.
I have some amazing news.
Tell me the news.
I finally finished the Malazan Book of the Fallen.
How was it?
It's an amazing piece of literature. Like, as far as fantasy goes, I don't think I have read any other fantasy that is quite as intricate, complicated, and convoluted. 10 books of 1,000 pages each is a bit of it took a while to get through, 2 years, in fact. The payoff is actually good. Like, you finish it and, I felt quite satisfied.
Cool, you want to just give the plot twist to everyone?
Well, I can't, because they're, like, the whole book's a plot twist. It takes at least 3 or 4 books before you have any idea what's going on.
Alright, so this will be a long episode if you're going to just do it all.
Okay, so it starts in a town called Pale with a group of soldiers called the Bridge Burners who die pretty much immediately. The survivors of the Bridge Burners feature for the rest of that book. And then the second book, totally new characters. Third book, comes back to the Bridge Burners a bit. Fourth book, totally new characters. Absolutely no idea where they came from, what they're doing, what's going on. Fifth book, some of the original characters.
How long is this bit going to go for, Dom?
Well, you said you said buckle in, so we're buckling in. So no,
sorry to interrupt.
The beauty of the Malazan Book of the Fallen, like, it has a huge cast of characters, and some of them stick around and some of them don't. And yeah, I highly recommend it, but you want to put 2 years aside. And the worst thing is I want to read it again now, because so much makes sense in it once you've got to the end, and I want to read it again and see how much foreshadowing there is. But who's got time for that?
You?
No, that's why I asked the question. I'm genuinely hoping to find someone who has time for that to do it for me.
And then just provide a synopsis.
Yeah.
That'd work. I'm reading Moving Pictures at the moment.
Oh, which is Terry Pratchett.
Yeah. Which is not his best, but not bad.
Yeah, I'd put it in. It's in that middle chunk. Like, there's a handful that I'm like, I'll probably never read them again. And there's a handful on high rotation. And the majority of them sit in the middle. Yeah.
Yeah, needs more guards. Not enough guards.
Totally. The guards are what make it all. I'm trying to think if there's anyone else I like as much as the guards. And the answer is no.
Death?
I don't like him as much as the guards. I'd say he's there's S tier and then A tier. Apparently that's how the kids do it these days. And the S tier consists of Vimes, Nobby Knobs, and Detritus.
Rincewind?
And he's A tier. I like Rincewind a lot, but I almost by his very design, you can't like him too much. Like, he's designed as an amazing buffoon.
Fair. And as a podcast, we've now lost anyone that hasn't read Discworld, which is by design. We don't get rid of those people. No.
Terry Pratchett. Did I tell you this is my quasi claim to fame? It's not actually my 6 degrees of Kevin Bacon. My friend Spencer, who has offered to design our book covers, has actually been employed to redesign a whole bunch of the Terry Pratchett Discworld book covers.
Spencer's too good for us.
He is. But hopefully he's not listening to this podcast and he won't realise he's too good for us. Sadly, he does listen to the podcast. He's one of our few loyal listeners. So we love you, Spencer. And please don't give up on us.
It'll come good.
Yeah. What else? What have you been writing?
Writing? I don't know. I don't know how to write.
It's not what I hear.
It out. What do you hear?
I hear that you do know how to write. See, I was going to take advantage of that moment of your vulnerability to castigate you and make out like I was the sole artistic...
You should have.
I know, and I forgot. I've obviously lived in America for too long, and it's made me a little bit less mean.
Really?
Yeah, that's what guns will do for you.
Be polite or...
Yeah.
Cool. Hey, John, what's your favourite book?
It's a hard question to answer, but nonetheless, I will try. The book that comes to mind is Night Watch by Terry Pratchett of the Discworld. As a standalone book, I think that is possibly the best book I've ever read. Like, the fact that a comedic fantasy author can write a book with such incredible emotional content, it really says something about his talent. Night Watch is off chops. It's so good. It's definitely my favourite Discworld novel. There's not many books that I'll go back to. Like, there's very few books I'll read more than once. That is one of them. Yeah, I literally can't think of any.
That's okay. I didn't give you a lot of time. I just moved into that question.
Shannon.
It's on the run sheet, though, but it's fine. My favourite book?
Yeah.
I think it'd be The Secret History is my favourite.
Ooh, I don't know that. No, I don't. No? Tell me about it.
So Donna Tartt, I think, is the author, and it's very elitist, which I like. It's in that world of like academic elitism. So you have this group of completely unlikable characters. They are at, I don't know the college or the university that they're at, but it's meant to be one of the like Ivy League type schools. I don't know if it's a real one or not. And they're learning classics. So they've got a teacher who's teaching them Greek, and they're all rich, creme de la creme, and they're all terrible people because of it. Apart, I think the main character's not, and that it's from their perspective. So, trying to enter this world. And then they get involved in sort of bacchanal mayhem out in the woods. People die. Don't we all? As you do. There's a few deaths. And then it's how do they respond to that? These terrible, rich, snobby class, people. I'm trying to say these things without giving too much away for anyone who hasn't read it. And I just, being the terrible person that I am, because you're meant to read that and have the perspective of, these are all really terrible people doing terrible things.
Yep.
And it's meant to be a critique of that culture. Well, I read it, I'm like, I want to go there. I want to be part of that. That sounds fun. I know people die, but I want to be a snob and, eat crumpets and tea.
I might give it a shot. It's funny, I spent a lot of my life curating. Well, actually going, what should I say when people ask what my favourite story is? So that I could sound smarter, or I felt like there was a need to, that certain books or styles of book made you a better person if they were your favourite book, that kind of hipster snobbery. And then I don't know, I reached a point in life where I decided that my favourite book was whatever gave me most joy, which is kind of the antithesis of hipster literary stuff. And so, yeah, I really like Night Watch. I really liked The Expanse. Have you read The Expanse?
I haven't. Is that the same as the TV show?
It is. The TV show's based, and it's actually one of the best TV adaptations I've ever seen of a book I love. But I really enjoyed it. The character development. You know, I just like a ripping good yarn.
Yeah.
I like a story. I always thought that, you know, that like there's a few books that I've thought that I should be my favourite. Wuthering Heights being one of them. I feel like that I should like it more because it makes me better, but I didn't love it.
Good
The
song,
Go-Between. Oh, Wuthering Heights. That song's actually the best bit of it. L.P. Hartley's The Go-Between, another piece of classic literature that I feel like I should like more, but I just don't like.
Yeah, I guess there's a difference in favourite book. What made you think, potentially grow as a writer or as a person? If
we're talking about growth, it has to be Paulo Coelho's The Alchemist, because nothing can possibly make you grow more than that. The one book that I think, and it's not a book, it's a series, that could possibly make you grow more than The Alchemist would, of course, be David Eddings' The Belgarian.
Yeah, and the biography. Stop! Why? What's with the throwbacks today?
I don't think I've
back
ever...
catalogue, people.
Yeah, I've never made you laugh that much, so I'm quite happy with myself. The Great Gatsby is another one. But I feel like there's a whole bunch of books I was forced to read at high school that I just cringe at now.
Yeah. Yeah, I did Great Gatsby in school, and I hated doing it at school. But I think if I was to read it now, it's a good book, but just when you're forced to read it over months and analyse it front back more than it needs to.
I was teaching recently, I was subbing, and they were doing The Great Gatsby, and they asked me what I thought of it, and I'm like, honestly, I hated it. I haven't read it in 35 years. I don't plan on ever reading it again. Good luck, guys. Bye!
Yeah. Yeah. But I was going to say, if I go by your formula for just straight enjoyment, I think I'm a Magician as a favourite. Secret History made me think more, engaged me more. Like, it's a really just well-constructed story.
Yep.
Magician just has, more people doing magic spells, and I think, finding crabs on a beach.
Yeah. Magic Ian. There's nothing like it.
Yeah.
Have you ever read Fairy Tale by Raymond Feist?
I haven't. It's not part of the Rift War saga, so I moved away from it.
It's the only standalone that he did, as far as I know. It is great. It is actually... I remember doing a bio for something when I was in my early 20s, and that was my favourite book at the time. And I don't know that it'd be my favourite, but it's a really good story. It's an interesting mix of magic and mundane.
Because it's set in sort of contemporary times, right?
Yeah, it's set in 1980 or 1990s small town in America. And it turns out fairies are real. And I will say no more.
Very good.
Fairies are real, and I am going to say more. And what's his name? Robin Goodfellow, Puck, from Midsummer Night's Dream, is one of the main characters. And
he's ruined the whole book.
Oh, he's a bit of a knob. And now I will definitely say no more.
He's a bit of a knob in Shakespeare, isn't he?
It's exactly, it's that character. The trickster, the lover of shenanigans. And he shenanigizes.
Very good.
Yeah.
Well, we're talking about books and books we like and books people may like. Hey, let's talk about a book called When All Hope Is Lost.
Let's do it. It's by Alyce Elmore. And well done for mentioning the most important part of a book, which is the title. Something I often forget to do. What I like about Alyce Elmore is she's an expat American who now lives in country Victoria. So she's she's Bizarro Dom. Yeah. Best known for her speculative fiction, she has published several novels, written numerous short stories, which have appeared in various magazines and the occasional anthology. Some of her stories have also been reproduced as audio dramas. You can follow her on her Substack, Alyce Elmore Substack. It's Alice with a Y. And her webpage, alyceelmore.com. Those links will be in the show notes.
Yeah, Alice with a Y and an A as well. It's not Alice, it's Alice.
Alice. Okay. For
ALYCE, if anyone's getting on board.
For our American listeners, it's not my... Sorry. Living and working in America, it's amazing the things people say I mispronounce. Like,
Just all of it?
they're like, orange? I thought you said catechism. I'm like, but what?
I like, as an Australian, consuming a lot of American media and American social media, I get on some of the trends. Like, I know that Americans on social media like to make fun of the way Australians say no.
Nah.
Which now I do. It's no.
Nah, Clea.
So now I over-exaggerate, but I already do it because I'm Australian, so now I double do it. So it's, no.
Yeah, no. Yes. I get sent pretty regularly memes along those lines that are like, haha, this is how you talk.
Oh, you sound stupid.
Yeah, exactly. So,
True.
This novel is set in country Victoria. Victoria being a state of Australia, some, Shannon and I, might say the best state of Australia, but not the best city because it's not set in Melbourne. But it's close to Melbourne, and Melbourne does get a mention. It's set in 2069, which is, I like it, Shannon put it in the show notes, always set sci-fi far enough into the future that everyone is dead by the time it happens, which is a good point. And then, example, Terminator Judgment Day, 1997. What?
August 29th, 1997, the day that Skynet comes online.
And what was there? Was it?
It was a rough year.
Was it like The Matrix? No, not The Matrix. There was another big sci-fi one that we just passed recently. Blade Runner. The original Blade Runner was like 2019 or 2020 or something. You were like, whoop. Well, that came and went.
2001: anyway. A Space Odyssey.
Yeah. So it's set in. It starts a little ambiguously, and I did actually quite like that. She's in a cabin, and with an old one who keeps complaining, which reminds me of old ones I know who live in Victoria, not mentioning who. She is a student at one of the universities. Is it Uni of Melbourne?
It's Melbourne Institute of something or other.
Oh, okay. So not La Trobe University, which is obviously not the superior university of Melbourne. Shout out to my alma mater, La Trobe. And she has to interview an old one in capitals. It's always, the old one is capitalized every time. For her master's program. There's this lovely interaction that really reminded me of being at uni, where the old one's going, but why are you doing this? And she's like, because I have to for uni. And the old one's like, no, like, what's the event? No, I have to do it for uni. And it just really reminded me of, like, uni.
What do you hope to get out of this? Credentials.
Yeah, exactly. Entry into a master's program.
Nothing else.
Yeah. She's been unable to interview the old one up until this point, and it does seem as if she's not that motivated. Like, she really has this attitude that she knows what happened, but she's going to tick the box. And then they refer to the Great Upheaval, which was in 2050. Doesn't quite explain what happened. And then it says, you need to know, you can't understand the Great Upheaval without knowing about the pandemic. This was interesting. Just one question to you. Do you think the old one's male or female at this point?
They have to be female.
But at this point, I was very much, it's an old man, because old men crap on like that. But then we find out that the global pandemic, it wasn't COVID. It was the next one that wiped out men. And this is an interesting trope. What is it? There's a few, Why the Last Man? I don't know if you ever read that. It was a comic series. It was really interesting. Which, same thing, except there was one surviving male. And then, is it Children of Men? Is that the one where people just stop having any kids? It's an interesting dynamic to deal with, that, like, the end of fertility through whatever method it is.
There was there was an episode of the hit 90s TV show Sliders.
Really? Same thing?
Yeah. Although that was, I think, played up for laughs a little bit.
There was an amazing Polish movie. Oh gosh, wish I could remember what it was called. It was on SBS on Friday nights. They used to show racy international movies on SBS, and this one was this Polish movie where two guys wake up they wake up like from cryogenesis or something to discover that all men have died and that they are left to breed with all the women. It may have been the first time I ever saw boobs. Just saying.
Yeah, it's all very much like that Futurama episode.
Yeah, snu-snu.
Snu-snu.
Yeah. Death by snu-snu. Anyway, moving on. So the pandemic happened in 2029, and then it wiped out all men, and then became a death, like a death knell for men who were born after the pandemic. Basically, if you're male, you died at 20. That's it. They're stuck because of bad weather. They've been blizzarded in country Victoria, which is unlikely.
Yeah, the climate has changed significantly for that to happen.
It's an interesting turn in that basically climate change has led to Victoria burning every year, and this is implying that it's going the other way, so that'd be nice.
Yeah, our winters get to about 0 degrees Celsius at the lowest, do you know what that would be in Fahrenheit?
That would be 32 Fahrenheit.
Okay.
Yesterday,
not too bad.
Not yesterday, last weekend, we got down to 22, so that's about -5 here. It does get cold here. But yeah, but what cracks me up is having lived in Melbourne for a lot of my life, and in Melbourne, I feel like every winter, everyone in Melbourne goes, "Oh crap, it got cold again. Why are we so unprepared?" Because all the houses are really poorly insulated, and I just figure it's not, like by Minnesota standards, this isn't a blizzard, but it's Victoria, so everyone's like, "Oh no, there's 3 inches of snow on the ground. What are we going to do?"
I'm in Gippsland, which is regional Victoria, and we had snow about 2 years ago, just in one of the main towns. It's just the tiniest bit of snow, and people were freaking out. Yeah. And when I say the tiniest bit of snow, as in you would have to look for it. You have to find, I think I saw something somewhere. Yep. There was a flake of white. That looks like snow. Yeah. So for this to be a winter blizzard, for them to be locked in, they had to get the emergency services out to clear the roads.
Yep.
Climate change has hit hard.
Or it's just Victorians being weenies and going, "Oh, there's snow on the ground." And the SES, which is the State Emergency Service, for those wondering, has come out with a broom and is sweeping the roads for them.
It's just, it's fallen. It's autumn. It's fallen leaves. It's crunchy.
So, from here, we are given a clue. The seminal moment, this is a quote, that brought about the great upheaval started when a simple desire for freedom crossed paths with an even simpler desire for pleasure. And I thought that was really interesting. Gosh, that could be so many things. And we're going to work out which quite soon. Yeah. So and then he goes, "Yeah, what is it? Oh, you got to talk about Steve." It was Steve. Let's talk about him. His story begins December 4th, 2049, which is after men have started dying before they turn 20. So he's got to be a young guy.
Yep.
And that's it. So what happens next, Shannon?
Yeah, and the old crone was looking old one. I've got in the notes somewhere that she's cronish by the implication. She was looking at pictures of university students or something like that. I think it was implied that they were university students.
Yep.
I don't know if it says it outright. I just thought they were
slackabouts smoking marijuana and skipping class like university students do.
Yeah. So, what we've got here is really the setting. So I feel like we're going to have to create an environment where the reader falls in love with Steve, because it's one of those novels where that there's a tragic ending for him. Like he's going to die at 20 or 20-ish.
Yep.
And let's say he's 18 now. So we've got to build up the audience's love for this character so that when it hits, it's going to be tragic, and knowing that there's a looming tragedy over the top of him. So let's say he's a university student, and we are going to get how he's involved in creating the Great Upheaval. Let's see.
So this is a year before the Great Upheaval. 2049.
He doesn't have a lot of time.
He's only got... It's December 2049. He's got at most a year.
Okay.
At least he's got 3 weeks.
All right. Well, let's say... So he's got to be studying politics because he needs to be close to the circles of power. I didn't write down the lady's name. There's a lady that was central to all of the chaos, I believe.
I thought it was really interesting. They talked about a bunch of politicians who were, of course, all women because all the men are dead. Let's see. Yeah, you keep going. I'll find that for you.
All right. I'm going to call her Gwen for now.
I feel like it's a Monica.
Monica?
Yeah, but maybe I'm just making that up.
You're just creating a Monica, hey?
Oh,
hey. All right, that's the end of the show. And we'll see you next time. Yeah, so we're going to have... Steve's going to be working as a bit of a whip in the political party.
I was right.
It was Monica?
Monica became the acting premier of the Greater Melbourne Republic. Yeah, Melbourne.
Go Melbourne. So...
Evelyn Perkins.
Steve works for Monica.
Popular Evelyn Perkins.
So she has to be good if she's popular. So Monica's going to be our bad character. So Steve works for her as a whip while he's in university studying politics. Why would he be studying politics? He's going to die soon. Anyway, he's hopeful that he's not going to die. He's working with the government, and the whole idea is after this pandemic, they're going to invest a whole heap of money trying to find a cure for this thing. That this chromosomal disorder that is killing all men. And while he is working for Monica, he finds on her desk some papers that set off our narrative. So what does he find that he shouldn't find, Dom?
Well, it's a simple desire for freedom. Crossing paths was an even simpler desire for pleasure. So, what freedom does Steve want? The freedom to live.
Yeah.
What pleasure does Monica want? Snu-snu. So, Monica has no desire. Is it Monica? Is she the baddie? Have we decided?
She is the baddie. Because this is not a visual podcast, my head did go to hands there. I want everyone to know that I have no part of this. This is Dom's story. Go Dom.
Monica, and I don't think that in this world Monica represents the majority of women, but Monica doesn't want men to grow old because they become less attractive. She basically wants... Marilyn Monroe is a great example. We remember her as beautiful because she died when she was young. Betty White, we don't remember as beautiful because she lived till she was almost 100, right?
No, she was just hot. Sorry, what?
Okay. So Monica's whole thing is... The paper that he finds is talking about how she's just not that motivated to increase the lifespan of men. They're pretending to research it, but really she's not researching it very hard because she wants men to die young and hot. What does Steve do?
So then Steve's going to take this back to the university, and he is going to make this known across the campus that this is what's happening. And then we're going to have some trials and tribulations here where there are people that believe him and that side with him, but not many. The majority, Monica is beloved. She has been an excellent leader of the Great Republic of Melbourne, which I'm hoping is its own independent country at this stage. No, it is, because I'm making up the narrative now.
Yeah.
So Melbourne's its own country. She is the president, not premier. No, she's president now.
Oh, wow. Because she was acting premier and now she's president. Wow.
Yeah, I've just promoted her.
That's how you do it.
It's happening.
I don't think you promoted her. I know Monica. She promoted herself.
She gets things done.
Yeah.
There's not many people that believe Steve's story, but there's one or two that sort of side with him. And then the rest try to squash this. And he's spending a lot of time trying to get this across. He's trying to form protests. He's trying to get word out. He's trying to get into any media that he can to spread his message. And it's taking a process of months to do it. It takes around sort of 8 to 10 months. And then he starts to go, I'm getting no traction and I'm about to turn 19. So now we're at panic stations because we know that there could be a cure, but it's being stopped by Monica. Mm-hmm. And we're not able to get any traction in this. People aren't believing me.
Yep.
So what can I do? What can he do, Dom?
Well, so there's this interesting subplot going on where Steve, he has a girlfriend. Her name is Arnie. And they're very close. And they play a lot of online gaming together as a couple. There's a game. It's basically the future iteration of Fortnite, but you play in pairs. It's called... what is that? It's the reboot of Army of Two that we've been waiting for since the 80s. It's an online game. Two of you go fight other two. And there's... In this subplot, they've constantly fighting the same other pair. And they just can't beat them. And it's fighting this a lot. I can see by your face, you're wondering where this is going. But in one of the things the crone says is about the desire for pleasure versus freedom is neither in itself might have been notable. It was the accidental interaction of two couples that sparked a chain of events that So this has been going on, and these two are fighting to the point that they actually start talking. So, and it comes out that not only is there a male on one team, which is rare in this time because they die so young, there's actually a male on both teams. And what happened, and as they come to understand that there's males and they're both nearing this age where they're going to die, and eventually, so this is, as you said, a few months down the track, there's a few flashbacks to this, and Steve mentions, I worked for Monica and she's been squashing the research. And this is the chain of events that leads to the, what's it called? The Great Upheaval is started with that conversation. So what do? Who is this mysterious other couple that's not Steve and Arnie? I'm asking you the question.
Yeah, I'm pausing so that I can cut this out later.
Oh, okay.
Because I'm trying to read the name. What was the other lady's name that everyone loves?
Oh, gosh. I got it. Oh, wait, it's on my phone.
Should write these things down.
I know. So Evelyn Perkins.
I do write things down.
Evelyn Perkins. She's old. Yeah, she got old. That's all we know. But she might not be dead. Okay.
Does it say who she was apart from?
She was. Yes. She was the Prime Minister or something, because it says that young Perkins putting the Order of Australia search over the head of a tall man showed elderly Perkins being helped from a large black limo by a burly-looking woman in a brown uniform. And then it switches to Monica Thomas when she became acting premier, and standing beside her was a young Catherine Williams. I went to high school with her.
Oh, good.
I knew she was bad news.
As in the fictional character, not the...
No, the actual Catherine Williams.
So Evelyn Perkins is the woman of this couple. So this is Evelyn Perkins and her partner, ironically also named Steve. So Evelyn and Steve meet up with Steve, and do you say Arnie?
Arnie, yep.
As in Arnold Schwarzenegger.
Yeah, because I was looking around my room and I saw an Arnold Schwarzenegger biography.
All right, so Arnie and Steve, and we have Evelyn and Steve too. And this is where Evelyn really climbed up into the esteem of the public. So they decide that they're going to meet up in person. And we find out that Evelyn actually has connections. While we have our Republic of Melbourne, she is actually connected with the president of Geelong, which is a regional town in Victoria for anyone who's not from Australia. And so she is able to take Steve number one's message to the president of Geelong. And this is going to really push forward what becomes the great upheaval, which is the Great 2050 War between Geelong and Melbourne over this information that is being silenced. Dom.
Oh, I'm struggling with this because Geelong are the good guys. Okay. So, and some might ask the question, how does a battle between Melbourne and the stinking hole in the ground slightly outside of Melbourne, Geelong, who can I just mention for the Australian listeners, Hawthorn beat by 1 point in a nail-biter last weekend. Oh my goodness, I love the footy. How could that lead to such a huge issue? And what it turns out is that there's actually nothing else left. Australia was an exceptional place in that the death of all men didn't just lead to complete collapse. So basically, as far as we know, the rest of the world has gone back to like Stone Age. The patriarchy had such a grip on all the other countries by this time, probably after coronavirus, that the death of men and them just being a bunch of pricks kind of just took civilization down with it. Australia, being the amazing, progressive, wonderful country that it is, survives. There were enough women, and New Zealand, of course, survived as well, but they don't care about Australia because they never have. And so this battle between Geelong and Melbourne actually is basically for the future of the world. Is it going to be a place where men are allowed to live? Or is it going to be a place where men die young and stay beautiful to make the fascist elite women happy? So this chance meeting between Evelyn and who must be quite old by this stage. So she's like that cool grandmother who still plays games. She's playing with her Steve. Steve too is her grandson.
Right.
And so they go to Geelong. They have to get smuggled out of Melbourne because there's pretty tight security between Melbourne and Geelong because they hate each other so much. So this always have. So this is your kind of Jason Bourne, James Bond section where they're like, how can we get to Geelong? What about the wasteland? What about the wall? What about the automatic guard towers and the savage female German Shepherdesses? But they get out and they make it to Geelong and they meet with Evelyn and the president of Geelong, whose name, being from Geelong, would have to be... I should stop slagging off Susan. Because Geelong's fine. I got nothing against Geelong, really. It's okay. And they meet with Janice, actually. That's what her name is. The president of Geelong. And Janice says, look, what you're saying comes as no surprise to me. We've always known this moment was coming. We've just tried to put it off because... Why have they tried to put it off?
And this is happening during the battle. So we're going to have the military forces going between, and this conversation happens when we've got Janice, Evelyn, Steve, and who's the president of Melbourne?
Monica.
And Monica. They're all together now. So we've stormed into Melbourne. We've had an epic fight. This whole sequence, getting out of Melbourne and back into Melbourne, this is 4 books, by the way.
Okay.
This is a series. But
and
now that we're back,
clearly fiction, because there's no way Geelong could ever beat Melbourne.
well, they haven't. No one's beaten anyone, but they've gotten in. So we're having a face-to-face confrontation.
But it's just like Werribee. It's not like it's an important part of Melbourne.
Werribee's joined Geelong. So does
Typical.
Colac. Yeah.
Oh, wouldn't have expected any more from Werribee, but Colac, come on, guys.
Anyway, so they're all there, and this is where we find out from Monica that it's not just about the aesthetic. That yes, that was part of her reasoning, but the reason that they haven't been researching the cure is because they found the cure. They know how to treat this, but the cost is too high. They won't do it. They won't bring men back because... Throw it over to Dom because I don't know.
Yeah, I saw that coming and I was trying to think of something.
That's why I slowed it down to give you some time to think of something.
Well, okay, the price is the
at least $30.
the moral tale of the rest of the world. The history, and that's what's interesting, because this actually does hark back to the first chapter, is that this crone is going, oh look, you've heard the stories, but the truth, they're incomplete. There's more to it, and what is more to it is just how there was a really regressive government around the world that was mistreating women, and that some women, it wasn't that they had the cure, that they just discovered the cure. They've always had the cure. Why have they always had the cure? Because they made the disease. Because in an attempt to overthrow the patriarchy, because they were bad dudes, the women actually made an alliance with the greatest manufacturers of specific DNA-focused, gender-specific viruses to make this virus. And you know who that was? Crabs. Over to you.
You know, I've been working so hard to not bring crabs into this story. It's multiple times.
It was my turn to introduce.
It was your turn
crabs.
to do it. Yeah, well, what's the is it the horseshoe crabs they get the crab blood out of, and they...
Oh, not
they
actual crabs. Crabs, CRABS, which stands for...
the critical
Research Association
and Biology Sciences.
That's it.
There we go.
Yeah.
That's what
crabs. Yeah.
Yeah. So they've done it, and what then happens is, after this conversation, the powers that be are too strong, and it can't be fought. So a deal is struck that Steve is going to get to survive this.
Which Steve? Steve or Steve Alpha? Steve Prime?
It's going to have to be both.
Okay.
It's going to, because, you know, well, if one survives, the other's going to be, oh, why don't I get to? Oh, shut up, Steve, too. Yeah. So we're going to have to go Steve's. And our Steve... Steve Alpha and Steve... Which Steve is which Steve? Steve Alpha is our...
Steve Prime is the original Steve from the story. Okay. Steve Alpha is an Evelyn's grandson. Clearly, that was very obvious.
Sorry. Yeah, so Steve Prime is... And both Steves are given the medication, or the cure. And then Steve Prime goes and he takes this information with him. And he goes away and he becomes a recluse. And he hides from the world. Until today. Where he's in a cabin, speaking with a young girl doing a research project to enter a master's program.
He pulls off his wig.
He's just a very effeminate man.
Oh, because he's had to hide.
He's had to hide, so he's just grown his hair out.
Wow. And as he tells this story, it's that interesting shift you get in some novels where the front half is the recitation and then the retelling catches up. And so then our main character, is her name ever given?
No, it's just girl.
Girl researcher student is like, oh my goodness, well, what do we do now? Because as far as she knows, all the men are still dying, but there's 2 Steves out there. Or is there more?
To be continued. Yeah, that's where it's going to end. Because this is a series.
And we've done 4 books already.
Yeah.
To get to 10. This point. But
I feel that's where I would end that story. Is that not where you... Would you keep going?
That might be where I end that volume. But it is not where I would end the story, because you want to keep people on the edge of their toes. Like, they've just read 4 to 7 books, thinking, well, not knowing anything, actually. Much like, as I discussed earlier, the Malazan Book of the Fallen. So this style and pacing can work.
Yes, absolutely. And we know the next 18 books are going to be about the War of the Crabs.
Oh, always. The war against the crabs.
Yeah.
Or it's not. Is it the crabs or is it just crabs? The war against crabs.
There was a joke there. I just left it. I thought, no, I'm better than that. I'm a decent person.
Okay,
let's see how close we got.
Yeah, I'm going to read the book blurb now. This is the Angels series. So we failed there. No angels were mentioned. It is the thinking person's post-apocalyptic story. So no, we failed. We are not the thing.
We thought about it.
There are no zombies, no roving gangs of men enslaving women, obviously. We fixed that. And fighting Mad Max style for control of limited resources. That's because all adult men are dead and only women and children have survived. So, having survived the chaotic post-pandemic years, why would women suddenly turn on each other? I think we were on because I think women's greatest problem is men.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, and why do the women turn on each other though? Because you're going to have a group of women that want men back, and you have the majority of women that are like, nah, we did that. Like, we can do better. Well,
Steves also.
Yeah, the Steves are part of that problem.
Yeah, they are the problem.
I'm Team Crab.
Yeah, any problem in the world, you can probably trace back to a Steve.
Or a crab.
Yeah, or a crab called Steve. So, amount of soup. How would you rate this book when all hope is lost?
And just off the first chapter, it was very much, it didn't give a lot of narrative. It was setting the scene. So it almost felt like a prologue. It was...
Whoa, that's bad language. That's...
Yeah, well, but I like that because, no, we're not going to have a prologue. We're going to have just chapter 1, which is going to serve the purpose of a prologue. So good, because prologues aren't accepted here.
Okay, so this is better.
So this is chapter 1. They get the prologue information out, but it means that there's not a whole lot of narrative. It's all just flavour. There's no real drive yet. So like a consommé, a broth... Something that's, setting the scene, but not driving yet.
Yeah, I feel very similarly about it in that there's no direction to it at this stage. It has asked a lot of questions. It has set an interesting scene that I would be curious to explore. But yeah, there's no meat to it yet. So I'm going to give it a shot glass of gazpacho. It's a palate cleanser.
Oh, okay.
So, as you know, and maybe our listeners know, I am a chef instructor at a culinary school. And last week, one of the things my students had to cook that I had to assess was gazpacho. And for those of you who don't know, it's a cold vegetable soup. And what I discovered about gazpacho, it's really filling. Like, it's incredibly hearty, even though it's cold. And they're serving up like a pint of it to me. And I'm looking at it going, that is so much food. And I think like a shot glass is just the perfect amount. It's got a bit of spice. It's a bit fresh. Boom, knock it down, move on. And that's what
I like the idea of it as a palate cleanser, just between courses. It's like, I was thinking sorbet, but no, bring out the gazpacho.
Yeah, what is a gazpacho if not a melted sorbet?
You're doing your gazpacho wrong, buddy.
I think, look, one of us here is a culinary professional, and it's clearly not you.
Oh, I'm sorry.
Yeah. But I'd like to say thank you, Alyce. Alyce with an A that Shannon needed to point out, for submitting this. It was a fun read. It was very interesting. If you look on her Substack or her webpage, I believe you can get the rest of the book.
Yeah, so we'll have the links all up. It is part of, I think it's a trilogy. There's a number of books, so we were right on that aspect as well.
The Angels... The Angels series.
Angels of Tread.
The Angels of what?
Angels have tread.
Oh, is that like
tires? They have tread.
Yeah. That's what the series is called?
Angels have tread. Yep, so they're very grippy on a slippery road. They'll keep you... So I think it's more about footsteps. Actually, I think it's where the angels have gone before.
Oh, okay. I was thinking maybe that's a word like swag that I didn't know.
Yo, those angels have tread, yo.
They have mad tread. Oh,
the links will be up in all of our descriptions. Thank you for listening. We love you all.
It's always a pleasure to share a little bit of us with you guys.